Greetings, blessings. It's June 8th, Thursday. Weekly garden updates. Let's get into it. So this past Sunday, a few days ago, I started scything east to west. If you've been following along, maybe you haven't. I mowed the entirety of this field from where my hand is over to this tree and back. That's south to north. And now, so when I say second cut, I mean second cut of this entirety field. And now I'm splitting the whole field into two sections. So east to west, got all this grass, and I went up to about that line you can see right there where the grass is a little bit taller. That's where I stopped, and I did that all in one day. So I'm getting better at scything, and next Sunday, or this coming Sunday in a few days, I'm gonna take care of the back half. I will admit it's getting a little hard to keep up with, just with everything growing more quickly. So the goal is today to get all this grass over to the garden. Oh, look at the nice bluebird. There's a sign of a healthy ecosystem. But anyways, gonna get all of the grass over to the garden. I was trying to get it rolled and put under the trees before the rain came, but it just didn't work like that. So got the grass going good. Gonna mow that back one Sunday. And let's do some garden updates. I just got back from the first delivery to the local co-op. Some lettuce, spicy wild arugula, garlic scapes, and some green garlic, which is just hardneck garlic. You pull it before it goes to its forming of bulb, and it's like a nice like green onion or scallion. Sweet corn is coming up. All these little guys right here, and the flint corn back there is coming up. So the sun rises over here and goes like this, sets over there. So my idea for observations was, even though these Jerusalem artichokes are growing up with great vigor, there's still some sun on the back of this, on this north end, that I've observed. So maybe try to get a crop, but it also may just get shaded out by the Jerusalem artichokes because they're just growing so much faster than the corn, and I didn't expect them to. They just popped up really quickly. I hauled some grass in here to start hilling the potatoes, and I have been hilling. It's usually done with dirt, but you put it around the you would move up like a hill, like a mound around that potato that's straight up, but you can also just do it with grass and put them around, and then they'll grow up again, and then you put grass around, grow up again, and then you put grass around, and that increases your potato yield. So all the potatoes are coming up beautifully. All the potatoes are coming up beautifully down this row. I'm thinking about planting the sweet potato slips in this wood chip path. All of the garlic is looking great. It's raining, drizzling right now. We've got the zucchini under the glass. I'm happy that this is finally getting use. And in this little compost L here is cantaloupe. I've just planted a whole bunch of cantaloupe the other day, so I'm looking forward to that. Some wild strawberries with flowers, and some sweet corn coming up in this mound as well. This garlic is just gonna stay here. That's to help keep the deer away. And we've got the next round of seedlings. So cabbage, Brussels sprouts, red Russian kale, rhubarb, Swiss chard, kailan, which is a Chinese broccoli, green sprouting broccoli, and solstice broccoli. That is all right here. 50 blocks to a tray. And then we got the next succession of cucumbers right there, and some strawberries that I'm propagating. All out here doing their thing. And then each mound has also been planted to cantaloupe or a pumpkin. And I put some tomatoes out too. Rain's starting to come down. More sweet corn in this mound. The calendula flowers. And yeah, all the potatoes coming up really nice over here. This is all where I just harvested 10 bags of lettuce last night. 10 bags right out of this one little spot. And all of the arugula, beans, royal burgundy beans coming up nice. Planted them, put down a layer of compost in the wood chip pathway. Now I'm growing beans in what would have just been where you were walking. These are some bean transplants, also royal burgundy, started in soil blocks inside. That's a Grandpa's Choice garlic. Shanghai pak choi going to seed that I planted back in March. I'm gonna try to save my seed off of that. This whole blank patch here is resown to all of lettuce, some astro arugula. We got the row of peppers here. All the peppers, tomatoes, and eggplants aren't doing too hot because it was really hot, like 85, and now we got smoke and rain and 40s. So dealing with that. These ones in this row are strike beans. Got about 250 French breakfast radishes harvested out of this row. Re-sowed it to beet greens, and then on this side is the next succession of radishes. A different kind of radish called sorrel radish, good for the heat. Potatoes and garlic. Potatoes all doing very good. These are some direct sown basils coming up. More direct sown lettuce, some elderberry cuttings. All the potatoes. Yep, a lot of potatoes, a lot of garlic. You can still catch that drift. And then this whole row intermixed with the garlic is cilantro. And then I just direct sown beans all around in this whole, down that whole row, down this whole row, down right where I'm pointing here, and down the whole row of the cilantro too. So this is all gonna be beans. That's the third succession of beans. Also did beans down this whole row with the peppers where they're coming up. The spinach that I overwintered is dropping its seed, so I should probably try to get to start processing that seed, but it's also good if it just drops in the ground and it will regrow. Cherry belly radish that I'm saving seed off of. All these onions here, I planted, these are long day full bulb onions, and I planted these in the beginning of March, and they're really close together. My idea is that I'm gonna let them grow up for a little bit longer, and we'll have some onion transplants, and they'll still finish to full bulb storable onions. They'll just be a little bit smaller, and those onions go the whole way up this row, and a little bit in this row too. So I've harvested radishes out of this. Now it's redirect sown to lettuce. There's also peppers down this whole row, and then the onion starts will be coming out. And there's an oak tree that got planted from the acorn from this oak. Some arugula going to seed. Those white arugula blossoms are also edible. Different kind of arugula than this kind of arugula. That is the dragon lingerie bean coming up in that pathway. And on the opposite side of here, this pathway is all more beans coming up, and that is the red swan bean. Down this whole row, every string is a cucumber. This one's a tomato, but cucumber. This one died for some reason. Cucumber, 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 cucumber. And then down this whole row, cucumber, 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 cucumber. Down this whole row is all the eggplant intermixed with the garlic. This whole row also has eggplant down it, so it's eggplant on this side, and then the cucumbers will trellis up on this side. Down this whole row is all the tomatoes and tomatoes. And then there's some pumpkins. Here, there's the tomatoes. Doing beautifully. Really happy and excited about that. And there's tomatoes around the entire border. And then I'm also thinking about doing the rest of the sweet potato slips like I talked about in the last video down this whole pathway in the middle. So it'll be tomatoes, tomatoes, the garlic will come out, and then sweet potato understory. See how that works. Whole bunch of sunflowers direct sown back here. You can see the potatoes interplanted with the Jerusalem artichoke. We'll see how the yield begins on those. Here's from the other view, all the potatoes, all the cucumbers already starting to trellis up the strings. These were started at the beginning of May and then transplanted out about 4 weeks later. So direct sowed inside the house on May 6th and put out about on June 6th. I'm definitely starting to learn the gain from having good starter plants to go out. I do like direct sowing, but it seems better to have some nice full plants to go into the ground with basically everything besides like carrots and radishes. Even some people still start their radishes inside. There's the tomatoes and the beans coming up. And these are snuck in some pumpkins down this whole row. New England pie pumpkin from my own saved seed.